is the listing. You need to have a listing. And I already know what you're saying. It's like, well, great. If I had listings, I wouldn't be watching this training. I wouldn't be interested in what you're saying. But it doesn't need to be your listing. It can be a listing of an agent in your office, an agent with your brokerage. If you're a realtor in your local association with your MLS, whatever you've got access to. And you want to speak to that listing agent if it's not your listing, if it's somebody in your office. Say, hey, I'd like to use your listing for 123 Main Street. And the reason I want to do that is I want to host an open house. I want to market it. I want to help you find a buyer for your listing. And 99.9% of agents are going to be thrilled. Say, oh, you want to help me sell my listing? Great. But you need to have that listing. So identify a property and then start with how are you going to get the word out? How are you going to market? How are you going to find a potential buyer for that listing? Step 2, the promotion. So the open house is the easy thing. 123 Main Street is our fictitious listing. You ask the listing agent, may I do an open house for you on Saturday? I know you're doing it from 9 to 11. Is it okay if I piggyback and stick around an extra hour or two from 11 to 1? Or maybe I can come with you and it's a large house, so I'll take part of it, something. And part of your open house is like, I want to make sure that I've got every social media channel that I have that's promoting this listing. I'm going to have videos on YouTube, videos on TikTok, everywhere. I'm going to promote the listing. That I've got an open house on Saturday, and everywhere I go, I'm going to talk about it online, in person, wherever. I want to promote the listing. So you've got a listing agent in your office that you're working with. They're happy because you're helping them out, and then you're promoting the hell out of it by having the open house, helping with the open house, promoting it online, and so forth. And then the third, this is the big one. This is the promise. So if it is your listing, your promise is going to be to the owner of that house. If it is the 123 Main Street example we used, your promise is going to be to the listing agent. And the promise is going to be, I'm going to help with this promotion. I'm going to help with the open house. I'm going to help with the social media and so forth, the marketing. And I will not stop until we find a buyer for this home. So much so, I'm going to speak to everyone, for example, in the neighborhood, in the zip code, in the city, in the town, in the county, in the state, until there's a buyer that's found. And that's your promise. And that is the crux of these 5 steps, because that's what you're going to use in steps 4 and 5. So listing, we've got a property, a real property that we're talking about, to the promotion, that open house, the marketing, the online, the social media piece, then the promise. You're going to promise either to the owner, if it's your listing, or to the listing agent, if it's a listing in your office or in your market, that you've got permission to use. Step 4, the contact. Now is when you are going to put that promise into place. You're going to reach out to everybody in your sphere, everybody in that neighborhood, county, city, town, whatever the promise was. You're going to fulfill the promise and say, hey, I know that you might know that I've got an open house coming on Saturday. In case you didn't know, I'd like to make you aware of it, because 123 Main Street is on the market. Would you be interested in coming? Do you know anybody interested in selling it? The reason I'm calling you, if you have not been all that nice to me so far, is because I made a promise to the owner, to the listing agent, to whoever you made that promise to, that I would not rest. I would not stop until I found the perfect buyer. Do you know anyone? Oh, you don't? Oh, but you might be interested in listing your house. Okay, well, we should talk. Let's set up an appointment. Now you're having actual conversations with people living in your target market, perhaps your core clients, and they are seeing, one, what you're doing for your clients, how you will not stop with any stone unturned, what the effort is, what you're willing to do, and how kind you are on the phone, how intelligent you sound, how much information you have, and that you're going to be at an open house and that you've got something for them to actually discuss. It's not just, hey, are you interested in listing your home? Do you know anybody who might be interested in buying or selling? Somebody might respond to that, but you're doing that in a way where you're discussing a real listing, your involvement, and you're exemplifying what your promise is to get that listing sold. And then the recontact. Let's say you had that open house on Saturday. It went great. You had so many people come in. Follow up with everybody you spoke to. Hey, we had 85 people come through those open house. Did anybody you recommend? Did anybody you told? Did they come by? What do they think? What do they say? We have an offer. We have 3 more offers. Do you know of anybody else in the neighborhood who might be buying? Because of those 85 people, they were super interested in moving to your neighborhood. Oh, you're interested in selling your house. Let me stop by this week and we'll talk about it. You'll have actual conversations about real property, real buyers, real sellers, and you will demonstrate not only what you're willing to do to help people buy and sell. You'll demonstrate your expertise, and you'll demonstrate your commitment to getting things done and doing things well. And this is much better than any kind of cold presentation that you can have, or any way that you'll just go out and hope to solicit business. Next week, repeat the process until you have your own listings, where you'll do this for your own listings. But keep this process up, and you'll quickly see that not only you're going to be selling these listings, you'll be getting your own listings. And ideally, you'll be recruiting other agents in your office to help you with the promotion and ideally the selling of that property. So big thank you to Courtney Atkinson. He is the creator, author, the mind behind this. A great approach. I heard him on Real Estate Rockstars, so got the podcast here. Check out Courtney's website for more amazing trainings, tips. But he's the brains behind this. I've adopted it a little bit and absolutely love it. So I use it with my clients. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Again, here are the 5 steps: the listing, the promotion, the promise, the contact, and the recontact. That probably shouldn't be highlighted here, but you got the 5 steps. And then, as I said up front, if you're interested